What's up, everyone? It is Riley from Lacrosse Unlimited back here again with another video that we're going to be talking about some intense products. Without further ado, we are going to check out the top of the line carbon fiber shafts from every single company. We'll get right into it, starting off with what's closest to me in no particular order. We have the Warrior QX2 shaft. This thing is incredible. Trading in a metal shaft for one of these carbon fibers is like upgrading to a Mercedes. These things are the finest materials, lighter weight, stronger material that really lasts the strength of time. And the traditional no flex metal shafts, as consistent as they are, these add a lot more feel to your game, a little more snap, and they've been very fun to work with. Specifically, the QX2 in this checkerboard colorway. Again, you'll see the Unltd. This is our very own shaft that we've worked with the boys over at Warrior on. We are ecstatic about this. Something I love that is so minute of a detail that Warrior has really reached out to do. They give you two different butt end options. So they have the traditional one at the end of the shaft where you can have your leverage with your hand pulling down as a shooter, or they have the butt end cap. If you want to rip this off and just jam the cap in there, you can create your own butt end donut out of the tape or whatever it may be. Your preferences are endless with the two butt end options. It's something that's quite often overlooked. So having the two preference options from Warrior is definitely a plus. The concave feel of this shaft and the materials it's made of make this super lightweight. And after testing it for a long time, whether it's cross-checking in box or simply just getting constant repetitions, the flex point of this shaft has been super consistent. I've loved using it over time, and it has never broken on me yet. I've been using it for a couple months, and this shaft's been an absolute pleasure. I like how there's so many grooves inside the shaft in terms of where your fingers can get in that concave area, have a lot of feel for it, and just be very comfortable transitioning with hands on the field. So again, this is the Warrior QX2, one of the lightest options on the market from Warrior, and their top of the line carbon fiber shaft. Next up, we are thrilled about this. This, obviously, as you see, is the Lacrosse Unlimited Simpsons collaboration that, if you did not know, we actually also partnered on with ECD on this one. So this is the ECD Carbon Pro 3.0 shaft that is a top-of-the-line seller from ECD for years now. The ECD Carbon shafts have multiple iterations where they have their entry levels and then their top of the line. We decided to bring in the top of the line option with ECD for this incredible collab that we've done. We're super excited about it. It is flying off the shelves. If you haven't had a chance to check this out or really get your hands on it, I would dive at the chance as soon as possible. The Carbon Fiber Pro shaft from ECD is easily one of the most fun to use. This here is the power option. They also have the speed flex. The power option is a little less flexy, but still has that strength and rigidity to it. More of a traditional shape where just the concaves on the sides are going to be able to have that simple transition between your hands. But the true strength of this thing and how light it is, the power option is something that I've enjoyed using for a long time. And, now in this Simpsons collab, it's going to make things a lot more fashionable on the field. So again, the boys at ECD do no wrong, especially not here with the Simpsons LU collab that we've done. So super excited about this, and we'll keep moving forward on the list. Next up is the tried and true STX Fiber X shaft. This is easily STX's best-selling shaft. I know their sci-fi line has dominated the scene for literally 20 years, but now the fiber shaft you will see on every collegiate, professional, high school team. Almost every single lacrosse player has one of these now. They may not have the LU exclusive USA colorway, which you should probably get your hands on considering they're running low on stock, but this thing is unbelievable. With their shaft lock up here, I've enjoyed that based on the fact that even a lot of companies matching up their same company head to same company shaft has always had rattle or whatever it may be. STX's shaft lock is something that's easily negated that. I've always loved combining, you know, a Stallion with this or a Surgeon with this, whatever it may be. You know, I've always tended to lean towards STX stuffs, and as I've loved all of these options, I think the fiber has continued to be one of my favorites. It's so lightweight. Its strength is definitely not something to be messed with. You can really lay the lumber with this thing on a ride, or even defensively. I know we have long pole options for all of these as well. The STX fiber is definitely one to get your hands on for sure. The X shape profile is one of STX's where it's actually the most concave. So having all these different grooves inside the shaft is super enjoyable to play with because you just get a lot of feel. So I've been super excited to play with this. Moving along, we have the top of the line option from Maverik, the Hyperfuse shaft. I was very shocked when I saw that they were upgrading the original Hyperdrive. Now to think that they have an option on top of that, the Hyperfuse is lighter, it is stronger. It's their traditional shape, which I've always loved. As many concaves as you can put in a shaft, nobody can ever go wrong with the traditional rigidity of a Maverik shaft. The shape and all the technology that goes into here with their tech stream, and there's so many different iterations of it where the Hyperdrive, we've seen a couple of them. Now the Hyperfuse being released now, you know, with their advanced carbon technology, I really enjoyed seeing how they've gone from the simplicity of carbon shafts, just throwing an option out there, to now literally creating something that is like a work of art. The Hyperfuse is one of the lightest in terms of strength to weight ratio in the entire industry. This thing is unbelievable in that aspect to how light it is in comparison to a lot of other options, even from Maverik. The strength of this thing truly is remarkable, and you're going to enjoy playing with the traditional shape like everybody has for decades. One thing that sets this one apart that I think is super interesting, it's not a kind of grippy rubber texturing, but the way that the shaft's final carbon layer lays, it has this slick but very responsive rubberized technology on here. They refer to it as plating. I don't know if it's specifically just the last layer of carbon that has it. Maybe there's some of the interior layers that have it, but it's just having gloves on, being able to really lock in where your hands want to be, transitioning super smooth, but obviously being able to grab that wherever you can on the field, being comfortable transitioning hands. Really enjoyed that. It's made it super breezy on the field, but having that rubberized texture is something that I've really enjoyed. Last but very not least, we have the boys over at StringKing in this extremely fun mint Lacrosse Unlimited specific shaft. You're not going to be able to find this anywhere else. Rob Remmer and the boys at StringKing are constantly working together to bring fun options for you. And like no other shaft from StringKing, this is going to be traditionally the same feel and beloved shaft that all of them have. StringKing goes with that traditional profile as always, and the thing I like about theirs is that the actual carbon layers are tapered inside of the shaft to where in specific areas like the middle of the shaft, there's a lot more material to make sure its strength and rigidity is still there. And then in areas where they can afford to take some effort out and take a little material away to make it lighter, StringKing's tapering technology that they've used in here has made that super possible. Here we have the 155 gram shaft, and I'm throwing this thing around like it's a paperweight. StringKing sets themselves apart in many ways, but the smallest detail. Any other shaft companies giving you a roll of tape, you get an entire roll of StringKing tape, which is hands down one of the best on the market. Different butt end options, you get the traditional rubberized, you get the butt end cap. You can really do anything with this shaft. And I think having another option from StringKing is super important because obviously their metal series has been super successful over the years. StringKing came right into this series with the Composite Pro 2s. Traditionally, they moved away from the Composite's first iteration where they made a lot of upgrades. It is lighter, it is stronger, it is faster. It is a fun time to play with. Super excited about the Composite 2 Pro. They have their cheaper line, but I wanted to definitely touch on the fact that their Pro line is no thing to sleep on. This shaft is super enjoyable to use as well as all these options. So with that being said, you can find any of these shafts at Lacrosse Unlimited, whether you have a local store or you don't have one and you're looking to get online. At lacrosseunlimited.com, you can find any of these shaft options. We wanted to make sure you had all the knowledge on the top of the line carbon fiber shafts from every single brand that we have here at Lacrosse Unlimited. It's been a pleasure talking about these. There's plenty more details that you'll find on these shafts on our website at lacrosseunlimited.com. Make sure you check that out if you're in the market for a new shaft, and hopefully we'll see you guys on the field with one of these shafts, and we will see you there.